Dicey performance is recorded at Umeå Folkuniversitet. It contains adult themes and adult language.
Hello and welcome to Dicey Performance presents ASMR gingerbread cookie eating with Verona Krit.
I have things I can throw.
Also,
how many members do we need for this podcast to continue? I'm about to trim the family tree.
Have I ever told you I love you?
2 works.
Good.
hello and welcome to Dicey Performance.
Hi.
Sandra's dead. We have decided to cancel Gingerbread Cookie ASMR and Annual Burp Fest 2021.
Burp Fest 2021!
Woo!
And instead, we are going to be playing this neat little tabletop role-playing game called Alpacalypse World.
Apocalypse World.
Y'all have been turned into alpacas.
I subclassed into Llamamancer.
Ooh, spicy. This show is, of course, led by your most virile leader, Jakob Säfsten. And with me, I have...
Sterile Jens Gabrielsson.
Gingerbread. No. Ginger cookie. What is it called?
It's a gingerbread
Cookie.
Gingerbread cookie eating ASMR Verona.
Person here only to correct everyone else in the room, Alexander Sten.
And Tialda Vries.
Tialda is so normal compared to...
It's like the goal. It's like weird.
I cast... So Tialda was the first out of the four of you to audition. And when she did her audition, we were like, oh, she's great. It's going to be a great party. She's so serious. She's a talented actress. It's going to be fine. And then you three show up. And for some reason, we just decided to keep Tialda in with the trash fire. I don't know,
It turned
man.
out good though.
It did. I mean,
Yeah.
we're on episode. I think this is episode 9 that we're about to record.
And we still haven't defined the meaning of nepotism.
I mean, you always need some trash to, fuel the fire and shit. So.
It's true. Speaking of fueling fire and whatnot, does someone want to summarize the last episode before this shit show continues?
I mean, I suppose I could.
Mm-hmm.
Last episode, we followed François on a mystical trek through some snowy void of the ether or whatnot, where he met his an old acquaintance named Bean.
I went on a vision quest.
Yeah. He wasn't dead. He was just really high. But and then we cut back, and Bright Spider tried to interrogate him and Fluffy Betty Jr. about ongoings and got absolutely nothing. Cindy Sweets continued her trek through the catacombs and lost a bunch of her fire cultists to frost and proceeded on her own, like the valiant leader she is.
Sacrifices, Very good.
We can sacrifice you. But and Bright Spider tried to go for a chat, almost got gunned down, and then held a speech.
Yeah. I think that's a fair enough summary. So I think we should just jump straight into it. And we're going to start with Cindy.
Sup?
Well, why don't you tell me? The tunnels, you have delved even deeper now than you were before, and much of the rumbling has stopped. You've managed to you run down a set of stairs and stop for a second and realize that this far deep down, nothing is currently cracking or smashing.
I love it currently.
Yeah, well, it'll solve itself, don't you worry.
Spice.
Yeah, exactly. And you look around and you realize that you have now, there's not. So previously there's been plenty of branching paths, but now as you delve down these stairs, there is only one single file before you, one single corridor.
Yeah.
And as you start walking down it, you hear what are you using for light?
Flashlight.
Flashlight, yeah. So you're shining your flashlight around, and you hear a scuttering of footsteps ahead of you in the dark.
Great.
What do you do?
I look around, try to find where it's coming from. Like you said, ahead of me, so that's where I look.
Yeah. Roll to read the situation.
Come on, man.
It's a sharp roll.
Please be good. Please be good. That's 7.
7. All right. You get to ask one of the read a situation questions.
Should I read them out loud?
Just the one you want answered.
Do I know? Is the sound of footstep the only thing I can hear?
That's the only thing you can hear. Yeah.
What should I be on the lookout for?
So you hear these footsteps, and you immediately harken back in your mind to these mutated creatures, and definitely ahead of you is at least one of them. Right now, since you're not being charged or anything like that, you have not yet been discovered. But there is something or someone up ahead who you definitely should be on the lookout for. So what do?
I continue forward. Carefully.
Okay, what does carefully mean?
I have my weapons in hand, and I am ready to fight.
Okay, yeah. So you use flashlight in one hand and knife in the other. Now
Yeah.
you pull out a knife.
Yeah.
And you're walking forward, and you see now that at the end of this corridor there is a door that has been bolted over with a bunch of planks, and one of these mutated creatures is 1 foot up on the door, 2 hands on one of the planks, aggressively trying to pull it out, and you have not yet been discovered. You see it, it has not seen you.
I slice the head off.
You all right. So you we see this creature, it's pulling and straining and grunting, and then suddenly from behind it we just see this flickering flashlight. It turns around and its throat just gets cut immediately.
Yeah.
Falls to the ground in a slump.
Yes.
And it is, you just have this door in front of you, and written in faded white text on a dark green metal door, it just says Armory.
And I know I have arrived at my destination.
Mm-hmm. So what do?
So I try to pull those planks off so I can open the door.
Yeah. Roll, you don't know it yet, but roll to do something under fire, and we'll see how well this goes.
For fuck's sakes.
It's a cool roll, so you get experience points for it.
7, that's an 8, and an experience point, so I level up.
All right, we'll take your level up after the scene.
God damn it! Come on! I level up!
Unless you have one that you've already decided on right now.
So when I level up, I only get to choose one?
Yeah.
I think I'm gonna go plus cool, actually.
All right. Yeah. So doing this makes you cooler. Yeah. So you change your cool to +2 then.
Yeah.
All right. So here's the situation. You start pulling out these planks, and as you do, you manage to get one loose, and you in triumph you pull it out, and it lands on the floor and clatters, and we just get this progressive zoom out from where you are as the sound echoes out into the tunnel, and we start hearing the footsteps, a lot of footsteps coming up behind you. And you know right now that you have a choice. You were being careful with the first plank. You can continue being careful and pull these out, but that means that whoever is coming up behind you will get a chance to get at you. Or you can strain yourself and start more forcibly taking them out, which could potentially hurt you in the process.
So either way, I'm fucked.
Yeah. Do you want the attackers to get you, or do you want to get hurt by pulling out the planks that are blocking the door?
You got a choice between disembowelment or a herniated disc.
I'm gonna get hurt by myself.
All right. So mark one more harm on you. So what happens is like you hear this noise and you're like, oh shit, and you like take the knife that you have and pluck it in between and you bend it out and you like you try to like dig your fingers in and you feel like your nails are starting to like bleed under your fingers as you like fervently pull it out. And we just see this like horde of these mutated people slowly coming down the corridor as you are like grunting and pulling and trying to get it out. And just in the last minute, like the last plank pulls out and you manage like you grab the door handle and by just sheer luck the door itself is not locked. You pull it up and like toss yourself into the room and like slam it shut behind you.
Nice. At least something's going my way.
Yeah, exactly. And then you realize that both your hands are in incredible pain.
That's fine.
Yeah.
I think there's enough adrenaline in my body to like not actually feel it.
Yeah. So you look at your hands bleeding and then you like fumble with your flashlight and you click it up and you see that you are in a room like it's maybe a good like 6 by 6 meters like in size, and it is stacked from floor to ceiling with wooden crates and boxes.
I smile. That's what I do. I smile and I carefully with one knife in my one hand and the other one free.
The flashlight in your teeth,
yes,
I guess. Yeah.
Exactly. I go to the nearest box and open it up.
And we just see the sweet, sweet glistening
Of
guns.
And I laugh. I actually laugh in relief.
And we just hear this like echoing laugh going as the camera cuts outside the room at this like small horde of these mutated people. And I think we cut from Cindy there.
Yep.
You're doing great. You got the guns.
Cool.
Now you just gotta get out of here.
Yay. I mean, I've got a bunch of guns now, so.
It's true. It's true.
You also only have 2 hands and the tunnels are collapsing.
2 hands are enough.
It'll be fine.
Big ass guns.
So, speaking of big ass guns, I think we're cutting to the person with the big ass guns. Hey, Fluffy Betty, where do we find you?
That's a good question. So I have to get some money, right?
Yeah, I think that was your goal.
That was
you
my goal,
realized that
yes.
you are absolutely broke.
I'm very sad. Yes, so I don't know. I want to get some money.
Okay.
So do I just... I don't want to rob someone. That's against
Are you
principle.
having a conversation about this with someone or
Myself.
yourself? Okay, yeah. So we have like Angel Fluffy Betty and Devil Fluffy Betty on your shoulders
Yes.
then.
Who gets to play who?
Hey, hey, Alexander and Jens, do you want to play good and bad Fluffy Betty in this scene?
Absolutely.
And you get to play Fluffy Betty.
Yeah, obviously.
Who wants to be who?
I want to be Angel.
Okay, then I'll be Devil, because apparently I'm the bad guy of this podcast.
Surprise, surprise.
No, Betty, you can't rob someone.
I mean, you need that money more than they do.
But what if they're good? They haven't
What?
done anything to hurt you.
How many of these people are actually good? They'd sell their mother for a 5 krona.
But Betty, you believe that people are basically good.
I do that, yeah.
But do we really consider these people to be, people?
You do consider them to be people.
I consider a lot of things.
They could be your friends or family.
I don't have many friends, though.
Strangers are just friends we haven't yet met.
Or people who are about to stab François.
True, very true. Oh,
They're
no.
bastards.
Sometimes friends stab friends. That's how it
That's
goes.
how it goes? Mm-hmm.
Don't listen to that guy, he's a total poser.
Uh-huh. I don't know.
Okay, so both the angel and devil disappear in a puff of smoke.
Yes. I can clear think head. Yeah, I can clear think clearly.
Think clearly.
Think clearly.
You can clear think.
I can. Well, aha! I can do many things apparently. Yeah, I'm gonna rob some people.
Okay.
So is François in earshot?
Did you have this conversation out loud?
Presumably, yes.
Just like with yourself. Yeah.
Has anyone seen The Emperor's New Groove, where you have Kronk just discussing blindly with his shoulders?
Pretty much what happened.
So I go to Betty and say, Betty, do you want a raise?
Well, that will make everything easier. So yes.
You are employee of the month after all.
Yes, I know. I'm very nice. And polite.
You also saved my life.
Very true,
You
actually. Yeah.
definitely earned a raise.
Yes. Cool. So do I still get to rob people, or does it take it off the table?
Well, what you do on your free time, it's none of my business.
Very true.
Though, I do need you to work tonight.
So not tonight. Okay. I will keep it in mind.
I'm gonna have a friend over for dinner.
How fun. And I can't be there, so I have to, keep watch? What do I do?
Just be ready, I suppose.
It's a very broad description, but I think I can manage.
Yeah, you always manage.
True. Very good.
So are you giving a barter to Fluffy Betty then? Is that what's happening here?
Yes, I am.
All right. Sweet. Money.
Bright Spider also saved your life. Does he get a raise?
Does he
Right,
get
You're,
paid?
you're not on my payroll.
I'm
Who's
employed.
You're a
at?
consultant.
Fluffy Betty is employee of the month. Are you?
I mean, give it time.
No.
I'm
I'm nice.
Canonically, Bright Spider has now worked the bar desk one night, and he has saved your life. I mean, he should be on the payroll.
We'll see.
So, I think then we cut over to Bright Spider.
And where? Maybe I should be the one to answer this, but where do we find Bright Spider?
Where do we find
Where
Bright
do we?
Spider? Last we saw him, he was pointing a shotgun at Camo, telling all the soldiers the truth, essentially, that he had nothing to do with the slaughter at Ken's.
I think it was also emphasizing the fact that there are a few people who were in the know of what happened, and it is very much their current leadership's fault of what happened.
Yes. So where do we find Bright Spider?
I feel like we find Bright Spider further into the hospital.
Yeah.
We find Bright Spider very much still shotgun to Camo, but he's made himself a bit more vulnerable, but he's also gathered these soldiers closer. Like, he's talking to them, he's telling them what has happened, and he is making Camo corroborate the story.
Yeah, and I guess we cut in at the end of this then. So Camo just says, all he says is true. That is what happened. And I guess you still have the shotgun to Camo to get her to say this.
Very much so.
Yeah.
So, in short, your anger is justified but misplaced. You have been led astray. But things are not too late. We can still rectify the mistakes of the past.
How? You hear a voice from the crowd.
Firstly, just vengeance.
And people cheer at that.
Mm-hmm. And secondly, well, I'm sure all of you have by now taken note of my dear disciple. He fell at the very assault you spoke of, that you have been lied to about. But he is here.
There's a murmuring in the crowd, yeah, what the fuck is that thing? Yeah.
There are some of you who have believed me to be misguided in the past, but I'm here to tell you that there is more to my words than just, misplaced faith. I've come to tell you that there is a way to cheat not only death, not only make whatever victories against it, as temporary as they are, we can make them permanent. I bring you salvation if you're willing to accept it, but, of course, that is only if you're willing to. First and foremost, I am here to help you, and I am here to make sure that things are put to right. But, I come bearing the word of something greater than ourselves. and with proof to back it up.
Yeah, you have this crowd with you.
Yeah.
They are waiting for you to give an action word or something of the sort.
I want you to find the rest of your comrades, the rest of this little standing army of yours, and I want you to tell them about this. Everyone should know.
They nod, and one of them goes like now?
Like now.
All right, well, you heard the man. Let's go find the rest of the guard.
If there are any issues with people who are particularly stubborn, you are more than welcome to come by the heating plant and I will speak to them myself. I am here to reveal to you the truth, and you have no fear. Anyone who passes in there will also pass out. And exit. Poor choice of words.
And do you just leave then?
He does. But as I step outside, I turn to walk outside, I turn on my heel.
Mm-hmm.
And I think this goes without saying. You will either render peace unto your former leader, or you will bring her to me. Can I trust you on this?
People nod at this.
And then what do you suggest we do with her? The other member of this conspiracy, the other person who saw fit to not only lie to your face, but also put you against those who are here to help you.
You hear the distinct sound of a knife leaving a knife belt as you see one of the soldiers flash a smile.
And do you all agree?
You hear the sound of more knives being pulled.
I throw Camo to the mob.
And they fucking eat her.
And with that, I leave.
You walk out into the snow, the whooshing sound of the storm blotting out Camo's screams as she gets violently stab-murdered by these, 15 soldiers.
Is it a bad time to swing by the slop house and be like, hey, your jukebox safe?
I think it's time then that we cut to night, because François said something about having a guest come over.
Yeah. So I suppose I've made everything in order. I've set the table, a nice, small, tall, round table, and two bar stools. And I've sent my message to Kickshirt
Ooh.
to come and meet me in the slop house alone.
You're gonna have to roll for that.
Yeah. And I'm willing to discuss the ownership of my establishment.
Oh boy, oh boy.
Oh no!
Make the roll then.
Is it plus hot?
What does it say on your skill?
Oh yeah. Yeah, plus hot.
And
Come
you get
on.
another +1 because you are offering a bargain that he is interested in.
Ooh. So 9 plus 2 plus 1.
So 12 then. What does
So
it say on 10 or better?
Kickshirt shows up like magic.
Ta-da!
You set the table and we see you fiddle with a lighter, and just as the you leave the lighter from the wick of the candle, you hear this loud banging on the door.
Before I go open the door, I turn on my cassette player, play my French classics.
So romantic.
Then I go to the door.
Outside, you see this large hulking man, covered in a massive winter coat, hoodie up and everything, and his snow is laying on him. And
Okay.
he looks at you, squints through the hood and sees the ice scars on you, and just steps in and goes "Oh boy, this is not looking good, François. I'm glad you've come to me for help. You look like you need it."
I really do. And you're right, I look terrible. Come on in. Have a seat.
He walks in, and as you said, he is here alone.
All right. So we have a seat.
Mhm.
And I pour him a drink. And I pour myself a drink. And then I say, so, Kiki, we've had our differences.
If you say so.
You know I don't like you. You don't like me.
As far as I remember, you broke the truce set up between me and Cindy by having your goon over there attack one of my people. I don't think I am
Is that what you
unreason-
heard?
If you have another story, please enlighten me.
Your goon shot me in the fucking stomach. In my establishment.
Now that is hilarious. Look at you, you're still sitting here. Looking fine, cooler than usual.
Oh, you think I'm looking fine? Alright. So tell me. Have you heard what's going on?
Depends.
Do you know what's happening?
I've seen that the river has frozen over. I have seen that bright spider fellow walking around with a giant snowman.
Have you also seen that he's turning people into fucking zombies?
I heard a rumor about this. Yes.
And are you in on this?
Me? Hell no.
I know
Me-
you're working with him.
Me and Bright Spider have a economic understanding that I provide protection for him and he provides heat for me and my people. That is the extent of our dealings.
And do you enjoy the idea of Bright Spider turning your people into ice zombies?
He has not yet turned mine, only Cindy's.
I unbutton my shirt
Uh-huh.
and say, look at me.
And he looks down and looks back up, his eyes widening.
This is what he's doing to people. And worse.
He is lost, Kickshirt is lost for words here.
Is this what you want?
The man controls the heat. And he controls a Goliath, and as far as I hear, he controls the living dead.
Kickshirt. Cindy is lost. Probably fucking dead.
This is news to me.
Kickshirt has no one... Sorry, your Kickshirt. Spider has no one to oppose him. Do you think he's just gonna let it be when
No,
he's done with Cindy's people? Do you think he won't come after your people? Do you think you're somehow safe from this crap?
And he looks at you and he smiles a little bit and I need you to roll read a person here.
All right.
It's a sharp roll.
5.
Oh, sweet. You have one question, and you can save it. You can ask it at any point in this conversation, but you need to ask it before this conversation is over.
Okay.
And you ask it to the GM, and and he looks at you and he says, "I have something that Cindy's people don't."
Oh, you mean the guns?
Yes.
Well, I think Cindy's people may have them now.
What do you mean?
So we went looking for them. I don't know if they found them or not. But if Cindy has them, that means
You
Bright
said
Spider
Cindy's
has them.
dead.
Well, I don't know where she is. She's lost in
Lost,
the catacombs.
dead. Either way, then she poses no threat.
No.
You can't have it both ways, Francois.
Cindy isn't the threat here. It's Bright Spider.
If they have the guns, they will deal with them. If they don't have the guns, my people will be ready if Bright Spider makes the mistake of attacking us.
you're gonna be ready to get turned into zombies. Have you seen what he's been doing? Do you think your guns will somehow stand against a freaking ice monster? Like, do you find this stuff okay? Do you find it normal? This is fucked up shit.
I think this is a good point for you to ask one of your questions, or your one question here.
So is there a list of questions?
Yeah, there's a list of questions. It's under read a person. You should have it there. Second
Cool.
one to the right.
What does your character intend to do?
So you look at him, and right now he is dead set on bunkering in. Like, he is terrified of Bright Spider and what Bright Spider is doing, and knows that Bright Spider controls the heat. And he is planning to bunker in and keep his people safe and stay the fuck out of it.
I know what you're trying to do. And it's not gonna work. You're just gonna seal yourself in. Wait for better times. It's not gonna work. What you're doing is just gonna make Spider stronger. He's gonna find more people. And you're just dooming yourself to die another day. You need to go on the offensive.
Roll to manipulate.
8.
He looks at you, and you suddenly hear a voice in your head, and the voice is we can hear that it's Bean's voice, although it's been like distorted by this massive blowing snowstorm, and you just hear her say, show him what the frost will do to him if he does not fight this.
Okay, so do I roll weird?
Now is the point where you roll weird.
5?
Fuck yes, you roll 5. So, here's what happens, François. You feel like you're not getting through to him. Like, he needs proper convincing. He needs to see what this will do to him. And so, you take his hand, and like, we see the ghost of Bean behind you, like, guiding your actions. As you take Kickshirt's hand and put it towards, like, the ice patch on your chest. And Kickshirt starts screaming. Fluffy Betty, you're in the room. Do you do anything here, or?
No.
No, you're just gonna
he's
watch.
not in danger, so I'm good.
You're just gonna watch him. So you see Kickshirt like holds his hand to your chest, and the ice starts crawling up his arm, and you are just like pressing it towards him as a man possessed, as the ice creeps up and up and up, and we see it on his neck, and we see it crawling over his face, over his mouth. His lips turn blue and then black as the ice finally crawls up and hits his eyes, and the flare of blue light shines through them, and he lets go, and he looks at you. He puts his hand down, and he looks at you with eyes of complete obedience. And he says, "What do you suggest I do?"
You call your men to arms.
"Yes, master. The storm will see it done." And he just walks out.
Can I just say I love you so fucking much right now? Like, oh my god.
Can I just say the entire thing you sold this on was, this is what Bright Spider's gonna do to you, and then you do it to him? That's like, you have to do this, otherwise you're gonna get shot, and then you cap him in the back of the neck.
Yes! This is what happens when you roll terribly on your weird roll.
I didn't know I was gonna do it.
I need to roll worse.
Oh no, this will only end up great for François.
So as soon as he walks out, I just slump down
Hey Betty,
and exhale.
your boss just turned someone into an ice zombie.
Yes. So I'm assuming this went well.
I have no idea.
Well, I mean, I'm assuming you have a plan.
I don't know what happened,
So
but
we need
I
to
guess we'll have to make a plan.
we need a plan. And I need the guns. You have to get him to give me the guns.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, the untouched ones, you know, the pretty ones.
of course.
Yeah. All shapes and sizes.
Yes.
Cool.
You'll get your guns.
Speaking of the guns, we cut down deep into the catacombs where Cindy is, as of yet, still alive.
Yay!
You have been barricaded in this room for hours now. The door, like a repeated droning, banging on the door. And you have like propped up guns ready to like open fire the moment the door fails you. And then suddenly, out of nowhere, the drumming stops. And you hear all the like footsteps outside like rush away from the door.
Okay. I just sit still for another few minutes.
There's nothing. It's silent outside.
I slowly walk towards the door.
Yeah. How much heat are you packing as we see you?
A shit ton, bro. Like a shit ton.
All the guns a person could physically carry on them are strapped to you at this moment.
Shoes, legs, thighs,
There's
pants, panties, bras, everything. Like bag, it's all packed. Like both shoulders, the back, the front, like a lot. She's strong.
she is strong.
How
She's
many
very
shotguns can a person tape together?
A lot,
A lot.
evidently. You can make a dress out of them with some duct tape.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so you you walk towards the door.
Yeah. And I stand behind it and I slowly open it. That's
Yeah.
what it's called.
Yeah.
And I just have my gun like in the tiny creek.
Yeah, in the opening. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And you like sneak it open. It's the door like gives out a light metallic squeal as you push it open, and there is no one there. The corridor is empty. You see all the like dirty footprints, and the door has like blood on it from these creatures like slamming themselves at it repeatedly. But something drew them away. I
run like bloody hell.
So you start running down the corridor, like carrying all these guns, and like you get up the first flight of stairs, and it is suddenly very clear to you what the reason why these creatures ran away, as these ice puddles, ice that came from the river of fire, has now not only started melting but started burning in the corridors.
Oh,
Yeah.
there's fire.
Yeah, you come up the stairs and this like orange yellowy light just hits your face.
Is it like fire from floor to ceiling or
No, there's like spots of fire on here. There's like spots of fire on the side and like a spout just like shooting out fire alongside one of the walls. It's still like, I mean, with a little bit of athleticism, you can get past this.
I fucking run like hell.
Yeah. And as you run, we see you like duck under these fire spouts as it's shooting out, and you keep getting higher and higher up. And suddenly you realize that in one of the turns you've taken, you've ended up in front of a like pack of these like mutants, also running away from the fire spouts. And they are running towards you to run like past and through you, which will not be a comfortable experience for you. What do you do?
What the fuck do I do?
Yeah, what do you do? You can ask the other players for advice in this situation. It's
I
fine.
press my back to the wall and make myself as flat as possible.
Uh-huh.
And I let them run past, but the ones that are close to me, I shoot.
Roll to act under fire.
For fuck's sake.
Roll plus cool.
Fuck.
This time the fire is quite literal.
Plus cool. That's a 10.
Ooh.
I got a good thing.
You
For
did.
once.
So they like start rushing past you. The people, the ones that get closer to you, you've like pulled up a shotgun and you are like echoing bullet sounds into this corridor as they slump down, and their faces immediately getting very crispy as they land face first into one of these fire spouts.
Hell yeah.
And
Bacon.
the road out to you seems clear. You emerge out of the fire spewing, and as you pass through the room, the big room where you had the big fight 2 episodes ago, you hear the ceiling groaning under the pressure of the burning pipes. And as you exit it, you just hear the sound of stone hitting stone as the ceiling collapses down and the room behind you starts flooding with fire. You got out just in time.
Yeah. So I continue to run like hell, faster than ever, because a lot of adrenaline.
And you end up you find a staircase and you like climb the first flight of stairs, and in your mid speed as you like about to climb up the second flight, you bump into someone. And you look up and it is one of the fire cultists.
And I just scream, "Run!" And
Yes, ma'am. As you like you emerge out of the culvert opening into the snow, and as you do, like the sharp like you are drenched in sweat, both from carrying all the guns and from emerging out of this ice into this ice. Like the temperature shift is extreme, and you see it has grown dark now, and you see the slop house a bit down the hill from where you emerged out of the culvert. And you also see standing out here waiting for you the other fire cultists and Hellebore. We've been waiting for you for quite a while, Cindy.
just a question.
Yeah?
You said there's fire in the pipes.
Yes.
Is it... Because I'm thinking, would that affect the compound? Would it make it explode?
No, this... Like, the fire pipes came from, like, underneath the river. And you've escaped the area of fire now. The compound does not have fire in its pipe. It just has boiling water.
Okay, okay, good.
Yeah.
I don't say anything, I just collapse, kinda.
Yeah. So you collapse into the snow?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, because you've been bleeding out as well.
Yeah.
Can I get, like, just a luck roll? Roll a d6. If you get 4 or better, you've not taken another harm from, like, the bleeding out in the waiting.
I got a 4.
Then you've not taken another harm.
Oh, okay, cool.
So so here's what happens, though. You collapse into the snow, and you suddenly feel a bunch of hands on you as the guns that are strapped to... Like, the fire cultists start picking up guns from you. And we just hear one of them, like, cock one gun and says, "Thank you for this, Cindy. We will avenge the prophet." And these cultists start heading down the hill.
Not now.
You get up and you say that?
Yes.
So they're leaving, and we see like they are in camera focus and you're like blurred out in the background, and then suddenly you stand up and you like shout that after them, and one of them stops and says, "You said that we find the guns and then we avenge the prophet. That was the deal."
I know what I said, but I never clarified when. I said after we get the guns, not immediately after. It was never immediately after.
If not now, then when?
Are you just planning to barge in there and, what, shoot her down?
They look at each other. There's 7 of them, and they like nod at you. Yes, that is the plan.
You need a better plan. I've known her for quite some time. She's gonna anticipate that.
Are you planning on helping us, or are you just gonna stand there?
I'll help you. But first, I need to attend to my wounds. It's been quite gruesome. And also, update me what has happened up here. Has anything happened? Does any of you have a clue? Hellebor, tell me, have you looked after the compound? Have you talked to Camo? Have you checked up on François? What's happened?
Roll to manipulate to get them to, because you gave an order first, and then you started asking a bunch of questions. So let's see if the order goes through first.
Fair. That's a 7. Do I plus anything or?
Plus hot.
8.
Oh, there we go. So they, so you say that you start asking all these questions, and one of the fire cultists goes up and says, "We have had enough of your empty promises, Cindy. We will avenge the prophet, and you will help us. Tomorrow, you will lead her to us. Is that understood?"
Tomorrow is tomorrow. But today is not tomorrow.
Is that a yes?
Sure.
They nod, and they say, "We will plan for our holy retribution." And the fire cultist walks away, and Hellebor stays with you. A lot has happened up here, Cindy.
Tell me.
And you get basically a recap. I'm not gonna recap because we know. François has taken over part of your army. The rest of your army, people don't know where it is at the moment. Not François. Sorry, Bright Spider is taking over part of your army. Bright Spider also has a giant frost golem. You didn't know about that one until now. And François has had a meeting with Kickshirt, and they don't know anything more about that.
She also knows Camo's dead, right? And all that. crap.
Yes, that is also informed to you. It was brutal. I saw her body afterwards. Nothing left but
I can't
bits
go
and
back.
pieces.
So all those years, all the shit I fought for, all the shit I built up, all the supposedly people loving me and all that bullcrap, all the fucking shit I did to free myself from Bright Spider's fucking cult, killing my parents and, all that bullshit. And it's all coming to bite me in the ass.
You've not lost yet.
I've lost. Alright.
The people
This
down the hill, and she points to the fire cultists because they're now at a bit of a distance, walking away. If you give them their retribution, they will follow you, and they are more armed and more combat capable than anyone here, than any of Bright Spider's people.
You know my army, Labor. You know how savage they are. I don't doubt you or your people. I know how powerful they are, but I also know when to give up.
So that's it? You're just gonna... You went down into the catacombs. You got burned by the holy fire yourself. And now you're just gonna quit? And do what? Go die in the snow like Bright Spider wants?
Who said anything about death?
Then what are you gonna do?
I don't know yet. I just know everything I fought for, it just seems so hopeless right now. I know you guys want I know you guys want the Prophet Slayer. I know that. But I've backstabbed Betty once. She has done so much for me. If I do it again, I will...
This will be the last time you will ever have to betray Fluffy Betty. Trust me. Use these people. Ken might be gone, but his gifts, the only thing that stops the snow is fire. The only thing that is keeping us alive is the flame.
I never understood Ken's obsession with me, you know? But yeah, you can't fight snow with snow.
There is holy fire here.
He froze the river.
The river is melting, and she points, and we can see that like the ice is cracking up, and seeps of fire are through it. His power is not eternal. The fire shines through.
Hellebo, how in touch with the maelstrom are you? I know Ken was very in touch with it. I haven't been able to reach it ever since I left Bright Spider's cult. I don't know why. It's just I haven't been able to reach it. I used to before, but now I can't. Maybe it's because I killed my parents. I don't know, but I can't reach it. But if we have a chance at this, we need to reach it. We need something from the fire, from Ken, from you, from just something to tell us how.
Cindy?
Yeah.
You managed to get out of the tunnels because you walked around the fire. It's time for us to try another alternative. And she puts a hand on your back, and she's like trying to lead you back down into the tunnels.
What are you doing? There's a bunch of fire there. I barely made it alive. I'm still bleeding. Some of the wounds have cauterized, I guess, but...
Trust in the flame, Cindy. And trust in me. I think I know why you can't access the warp.
Then tell me. You know I don't like being in the shadow of things.
I cannot tell you. You must see it for yourself.
Cindy takes a deep breath and just nods and follows Hellebore.
And we see Cindy and Hellebore as they walk down the stairs into the fire. And Hellebore stops just by like the edge of the burning. And she looks at you and she says, "Trust in the flame. Walk forward."
Cindy takes a deep breath and she relives one of the happy moments she had with Ken and walks straight into the fire.
Roll plus weird.
Is this one I should roll bad?
I don't know.
God damn it. I got a fucking 8.
What's your weird?
So a 6. Because I have a -2.
So that is not a hit then.
No! Are you kidding?
Cindy, you walk forward, trusting in the flame. And at first, it seems as if the flame is like dodging around you. As when you take the steps, the fire flees from you. But as you are engulfed by the fire, front, left, right, and back, Suddenly, all at once, the fire coalesces at you. Cindy Sweets dies in the fire as it burns her alive.
So much for trust, huh?
Verona,
Yep.
do you want to come back with +1 weird?
I do.
Cindy falls in the flame. We see it from Hellebor's perspective. She drops to her knees, now nothing more than a searing carcass, screaming in utmost agony. And as she her body slumps to the side, it burns and pops and fizzles until it is nothing more than charred ash. And as Hellebor watches, she reaches up and plucks the flower out of her eye, revealing a burned out eye socket from underneath. And she holds the flower in her palm and blows it gently into the flame. And as the flower dances over the flickering, licking weeps of flame, it suddenly catches fire, but instead of growing into nothing, it blossoms out, growing bigger and bigger, until we see a full, charred humanoid form. The entire skin of this person, nothing but black crisp, as Cindy, born of fire, steps out of the flame. Trust in the fire. And with that, we end today's episode.
Fuck!
Thank you so much for listening. I
Ooh.
have been your game master, Jakob Säfsten, and with me I have
Ice Zombie, Jens Gabrielsson.
It's a weeping charcoal Verona.
A rapidly decreasing holder of the weirdest person in the room title, Alexander Sten.
And a gun lover, Tialda.
who just wanted to get some money. Thank you so much for listening, and we will see you next time. Bye! You've been listening to Dicey Performance, which is a part of the Umeå Theatre Company and Umeå Folkuniversitet. This episode is edited by Jakob Säfsten, engineered by Linn Olsson, managed by Joana Velosa, art is by Vincent Ekwall, and PR is by Alex Rader. And the project manager is Jakob Säfsten. You can follow us on Instagram at Dicey Performance, on Twitter at Dicey Perform, and to follow us on YouTube, simply follow that link in the description. Thank you so much for listening.